John,
now.
what you just described was the second property I ever bought, which was Park Slope, Brooklyn. It was a two-family, two stores. Um, I knew I was overbuying. I thought I was overbuying. I didn't realize by how much I was overbuying.
Mm-hmm.
That mortgage was with Greenpoint Savings Bank, 18%,
Mm.
right? 6 points to get them as well, not including the additional all the closing costs. That was 1990. That property almost put me in bankruptcy. I
People people don't realize how good interest rates are right now.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
that was the typical rate back then, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
So it's like when people tell me like, oh, but it went up a point to 4.5. I says, what are you kidding me? After your tax implications. What is the real number? You know.
right.
So, you know, we that building is now my flagship property.
Oh, wow.
It's
Okay.
it's only a few blocks away from the Barclays Center, um, and it's literally drawing off tons of cash flow every month. I'm a partner with my dad with that one. Um, and that's a property I'll never get rid of ever. You know, I even
Yeah.
tell my wife and my kids, if I should drop dead tomorrow, you could sell everything, but do not sell that one,
Yeah.
because that's just going to keep appreciating because of its location. The rents continue to go up. The tenancy is great. It's just unbelievable. And the other thing is, I tell everybody is, be open to everything. Like a lot of my properties are mixed use properties, which is where you have residential on top, commercial on the bottom. Um, I don't care what the property is. It could be industrial, it could be commercial, it could be condos, townhomes, vacant land. As long as the numbers make sense, do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So is there a certain formula you use when I mean, you're investing in so many different areas and helping people. So I imagine it's kind of got to be custom to that particular area, maximizing the opportunity as well,
Well, I
right? So,
mean, we all know the 70-30 split, right?
yeah.
You're after your renovation value, you want to be at 70% of the value, right? You're all in. I don't really align to that. I want to be, I was always no more than 60, 65. But John, what happens is as you get, I found this happened to me, and I'm sure this has happened to you. Um, my brother-in-law asked me once, what is it that you look for in a property when you what makes you decide to buy that property? And the first my response to him was, the first thing I do is I look for every reason why I shouldn't buy it.
Hmm.
Um, and then if it still makes sense, I'll start looking into why I should.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because as you become more experienced and as you become more successful, the deals are coming to you. It's not
Right.
like you're chasing them like you used to be, right? So
Right.
now you could cherry pick the deals, right?
Hmm.
It's the same thing with money, right? In the beginning, nobody would lend me money. Now it's like they're throwing money at me. Well, I don't need
Right.
it now, right? It's so as you get more successful and the more you do it, and the more hurdles you overcome, the more experience you get, the more people entrust with you, and they'll bring you the deals as well as the money.
Yeah. The very first thing I ever learned in real estate really was from my father-in-law at the time, very successful real estate investor, and he was like, you got to follow the numbers and do not make an emotional decision. Like,
That's right.
you see so many people chase the deal to where, or they start repenciling the deal, like, oh, maybe I could squeeze the budget, and maybe
Yes.
instead of getting X I could get Y for an exit. Those are the deals that we start to see not make sense because other people are chasing that deal, pushing the price up, and
That's
so
right.
then you see people make these emotional decisions, on that real estate, and typically that doesn't work out. I'm not saying it doesn't sometimes. I mean, but typically those are, you're talking about looking at it. Why shouldn't I do this deal? I mean, yeah, you almost have to talk this building we're in. Like, you had to talk me into it. There was three doctors that bid against me, and I was like, let them have it. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to chase it. And then 2 months later, when they didn't close, they came back to me, and I got a better deal than I
That's so
was had
funny.
on the table.
So
I
isn't
mean, I
it
got
funny,
9 months.
John?
Yeah,
Isn't it so funny how it's the deals that you walk away from when they come back, they're always the better deals?
it, it's just, yeah, it's it's becoming detached from it and being like, well, whatever. If it's meant to be, it will happen. You know,
Right.
there's in the deals that you typically lose, right behind it is a
Right.
deal that I'm always like, I wouldn't have been able to do that deal or this deal if I did that other deal. So I'm so glad that the deal I was so fixed on, you know, if it blows up, oh well. I mean, just because when it's all said and done, I'm happier with the deal that's right behind it. I
That's
guess is
right. That's right. Yeah. Don't. I tell everybody the same thing. Don't get emotionally involved, and don't. The deals I've done, the worst deals I've done are the deals that I've chased.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Let them chase you, but in the beginning, it's not like let's talk about that. You know, for there's probably a lot of new investors looking at or watching this, and maybe some that aren't so new, but the ones that are been have been doing it a while, they all know the same thing, I'm guessing. But those new, like, how do we, or
I
what do
tell
you
I
tell
tell my
students?
new investors, don't be me. Don't make my mistakes. So
Yeah,
I'm extremely competitive. I don't lose, and I don't take losing very well. I'm a sore loser. I mean, it ails me when I lose to the point
yeah,
where I don't sleep. And I had to remove myself because, especially when you go to the auctions, right?
mm-hmm,
Um, and you go to the auctions, it's easy to get emotionally involved in those auctions,
yeah,
whether it be online or whether you go to the courthouse steps. Stick to your numbers. Become disciplined. Don't get over anxious. Um, the other thing, as I tell people when you go to the auctions, it's extremely emotional. I I realized when I started going to different county auctions and I was going into new areas, I would go at least 7 to 8 times, whether it be one, or, sometimes they don't have so many auctions in one county, but they'll have them in the other counties surrounding it, and you'll see the same players. Um, they'll talk to each other with signs, right? So the big fish in the pond there, although they're competing against each other, they don't want a new competition coming in. They're going to bid you up, and
right,
by the time you're done, you overpaid, and you're probably going to end up selling that property to one of those big fish at a lesser price, right? Which has
right,
happened to me on both sides. I've been on both sides of that scale. So I made a lot of mistakes because I'm a sore loser, and I hate to lose. So it took me a long time to detach the emotional side from the real estate, from thinking that I was losing when I wasn't winning the bid, or when I was, somebody else was bidding against me and putting in a higher price point. Let them have it.
yeah, yeah. Let the ego with them win. Take
Yes.
yours out of the equation. Yeah, yeah, yeah. One thing I learned a long time ago, it's like, what's bigger, your ego or your bank account? And so
That's
sometimes you
right.
just got to park that ego, right?
Yeah,
So,
listen. I'm not gonna kid. I still drive. I drive a Honda Accord that's from 2012. Can I drive? I can drive pretty much any car I want. Um, my biggest problem is I just hate going shopping for a car.
yeah,
So
it's not a good experience. I was in the car business for a long time, so I
no.
understand. I was in it and I hate doing it.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, we get a new car. We lease a new car every 3 years for my wife. But for my car, it's either my work truck or my Honda, and they run great. And it's not that I don't. So my goal was to always have that $100,000 car, right?
hmm
And then when you get there and you could afford it, for whatever reason, you just don't. It doesn't allure you anymore. Does that make sense? I'm not sure.
100%. So I can't tell you like, and I'll just elaborate on it. Like same thing when you actually have the opportunity to go buy that, or in my mind it was like, well, you could go get that, or you could go get another property, right? So
Exactly.
it becomes this, it becomes very addicting to just start stacking houses versus,
Oh yes.
taking money out and say, oh, I'm going to go buy this. It's very difficult to do, right? And a lot of people will say, well, okay, then go buy an asset with that money, and then you could pay for the car that way.
Uh huh.
That's a tough one too because that's your income from that asset paying for it.
Yeah,
It's still difficult.
that's my biggest problem. So my wife and my kids are like that. Says you buy condos without even going to look at them, and you have a
Yeah.
hard time buying a car that you're spending less than on the condo. I said, yeah, but the condo's an asset that gives me money every month, You know,
Yeah.
and I know that area. I know that community. I don't even. All I need is the pictures to make a decision. I'm placing offers, whether it be a market, below market, irrelevant, right? Um,
Right.
you know, I can make a decision like this on that. When I buy in a car, it hurts me. You know, I'm like
Yeah.
I'm looking at this piece of metal. I'm like every time I put my keys in that car, I just lost money. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm